Welcome to Mindless Entertainment. My name is Jesse Milestone, and I no longer feel good about girl power. Before we dive right into that, this is just a reminder that because YouTube's algorithm hates me, I'm hosting a lot of my content over on Patreon, and I do have Subscribe Star up and running. So if you want to know why Social Justice Jesse thinks that Jurassic Park is the most progressive movie ever made, and if you want to know what the stupid people are up to, just head over to there. The links are down below. Check that out. Please and thank you. Anyway, so girl power used to be this wonderful idea, this yay women, let's all get together and do things that make us, feel empowered. And now it's this ugly, toxic, impure, imperfect idea that comes with a side serving of loathing. Sometimes self-loathing, sometimes loathing of others, especially men, but not even just that. It's a very complicated, nuanced, ugly thing when it used to be such a beautiful, pure, even childlike, empowering concept, right? Malcolm, he's just here to distract everybody. He loves girl power, I guess. I don't know what he thinks. So when I was a kid, for me, the cartoon, the children's program that epitomized the idea of girl power was the Powerpuff Girls. And it's got the word power right in there. It's got the word girls in there too. Oh my God. And it was a great show. Most of you are familiar with it. Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup, the three main characters in the show. You had one super blonde, bubbly, girly one, Bubbles, duh. You had the short-haired, total tomboy, chick always with a frown, angry, want to beat everything up girl, Buttercup. And then Blossom, who was, very feminine with the bow in her hair, but it's also very tough and the leader of the group. So you had this beautiful balance of three different types of women all working together to achieve their goals. Now, of course, the obvious problem here is that they were all white. How terrible. But we'll get into all that stuff in a minute here. So a great show that showed you that you can be girly and tough. You can be sweet and tough. You could be a tomboy and tough. And that none of that stopped you from being a girl. They all wore dresses and the cute little shoes, and they were all, girls and liked girl stuff sometimes. And that was okay. That was great. That was a beautiful thing for as a child to watch, is these three girls beating the crap out of big old monsters, showing you girls can do anything. We all remember that great music video, Power, Super Power. I love that. It was so ridiculous. It was great. And the other great thing about that show, right, I say we all remember this. We do, as in we, women and men. Boys like that show just as much as girls did. You talk to any nerd boy, they all watched the Powerpuff Girls as well. They knew all three of those. They could rattle off a bunch of the villains from it. Mojo Jojo, who didn't love Mojo Jojo? I mean, come on, such weird, crazy villains. So that's what I grew up with as my demonstration of this is what girl power looks like. I grew up in a time when women were just really breaking into higher roles, more important roles in industries and professions that they previously hadn't really had much of a presence in. Becoming CEOs of businesses, rising in the ranks politically, making names for themselves in computer science and other fields that typically were thought of as male dominated. And when that happened, it was this beautiful concept. And the way I was taught as a child in school by my parents was, yes, you can grow up and do anything. You can grow up and be anything. You just have to work for it. It doesn't matter if there are more men doing it than women. You just work really hard and your work will speak for itself. Now, are there obstacles that come as from a woman going into a male dominated field? Certainly there are. There are prejudices, there are stereotypes. There's a plethora of evidence to show the differences of treatment between men and women in the workplace. I'm not going to take anything away from that or say that's not there, but the whole thing was there wasn't an idea that we had to remove all these roadblocks in order for women to succeed. The point was you could overcome them all and do that. And to me, even though people will grumble, oh, you have to work twice as hard, you have to do twice as much and this and that, there's something also at the same time really beautiful about being able to accomplish those things. Being able to say, I did work twice as hard. I went twice as far. I am special. I am great because I put in that extra effort to get something that somebody said I couldn't have, I couldn't do. Everybody in their life faces setbacks. The Beatles were told that they would never amount to anything. Plenty of actors were rejected from role after role after role before they finally broke through. People dropped out of college before starting the idea that spawned their, billion-dollar businesses. You hear these stories all the time from men and women. Everyone has roadblocks. Everyone has setbacks. And rather than overcome them, which is what I was taught to do as a child, we're now taught to ask society to remove them for us. Girl power is no longer about, let me get together with other women and show how strong I am. Let me utilize my personal resources, the specific unique skills to me because of my personal upbringing and the fact that I'm female, and use these to my advantage to overcome the obstacles in front of me and gain something. Girl power is now about, the men are trying to keep us down, so let's get rid of the men and make it all about us. Let's just take them out of the picture. Let's remove the obstacles and make it a clear path, rather than teaching ourselves to be stronger, smarter, and better so we can actually overcome those obstacles. Do you see the problem with the society that we're building when those are our goals, when those are our intentions? Rather than encouraging people to be better, to work harder, to be stronger, and overcome things, that we're teaching them that they're owed something. We're teaching women these days that they're owed something from the evil world of men who's been gatekeeping everything from them since forever. And the real problem with this is that it has never been a better time to be a woman. Yes, there are things that are still, women's issues that we face, that we deal with, unique challenges to being female that we face on a daily basis. But it is a better time to be a woman than pretty much any other time. We have so many rights, so many opportunities, so many of those roadblocks already cleared for us. And we're teaching the women of today, we're teaching the girls now that instead of being appreciative of the world they inherited and continue working, continue building on the blocks that we laid for them to create a better and better world for themselves as they go out into it, we're teaching them to say, this isn't good enough, we want it all to go away. We're teaching this entitlement because every woman who's come before has worked, has broken down barriers, has paved new ground for the women who are coming after them. And we're teaching those women not to be thankful or appreciative or grateful. We're teaching those women to turn around, point at the women who came before and said, you weren't woke enough, you weren't feminist enough, you weren't good enough. The people who worked enslaved in ways that they will never know or appreciate or understand, we're teaching them to be ungrateful and to say, no, I just want things given to me. I don't want to have to work and train and learn how to be a superhero. I just want to get zapped by a machine blowing up and suddenly be the best at everything. Captain Marvel, thank you very much. I don't want to know that about Admiral Haldo's backstory and how she, or why she's so powerful, what impressive feats she did to earn the name she had. I just want to see how the men around her are all terrible, and that's why we should trust her, because the men are all stupid. That's the attitude we're instilling in today's women. The men are dumb, so I'm clearly better, so give me. I don't want to work for it. I don't want to earn it. I just want to have it. I just want to have it given to me. And that, to me, is such bullshit. Such utter messed up bullshit that we have to live in a world where we have to create an enemy in order to be great, where we have to step on somebody else in order to elevate ourselves. That's what cowards do. That's what weak people do. We are teaching our women to be weak. And on top of that, we're not even teaching them to work together. Right? Because at the time I was raised, it was, women, let's bond together, and girl power. We all have these shared experiences as women that make us, that unite us. Right? And first of all, we're not even entitled to some of those experiences anymore, because some of the biological things that make us female, well, trans women don't have those and don't experience those. So if we want to laud those or elevate ourselves or bond over these things that make us biologically female, well, we're being transphobic now, so we can't even do that. And mind you, as a white woman, I'm practically the devil myself here, right? Because forget me, forget the unique experiences I've had as a woman, forget the things I've dealt with as a woman. For example, something I like to bring up, I'm a fencing referee. Women weren't even allowed to fence saber, which is my weapon, until the 80s, let alone referee it. It was very uncommon for women to referee saber. There are very few female saber referees. There's very few female referees, period, relative to the male referees. There's an incredibly small number of female saber referees. And the refereeing world is dominated a lot by older European men who have different ideas of what women can and can't do and shouldn't be allowed to do. So I experience that all the time. But I'm not allowed to feel disadvantaged or any of these. I'm not allowed to talk. I'm not allowed to have a say, because the second I encounter a gay woman or a black woman, well, her experiences are so much more valid than mine. They're so much more worthy than mine, because somehow, for some reason, this whole idea of intersectionalism, which is just oppression multipliers, means that if I don't have enough multipliers, my personal experiences, my struggles, my roadblocks, my setbacks don't mean as much as somebody else's, simply because of these intangible qualities that may or may not have had any impact on the road they've walked. Certainly, Somebody who's gay has different experiences than I do. But if that gay person, say, has lived their entire life in a gay-friendly neighborhood and worked in a very gay-friendly profession, they may not have experienced some of the same roadblocks that I've experienced as a woman in a very male-dominated profession. But I'm not allowed to say that because that's being insensitive. Because I'm not woke enough. Because I'm not oppressed enough to have those opinions, to feel those things. And I say, screw that, to hell with that. Stop trying to give advantages to people because you're actually disadvantaging them in the long run. I grew up as a tomboy. I grew in a time, by the way, too, where being a tomboy or dressing in boys' clothes and wearing my hair short didn't mean I need to change my pronouns or question my gender identity. Was allowed to be very happily female and do that. So we're adding this additional complication of like, let's not even let you be a woman because we've narrowed the definition of what a woman even is. Because the second you're something that's not specifically woman, oh, well, you should be gender non-conforming or you should be trans or you should be this. And we're pushing that on our children and we're forcing them to put themselves into these boxes, to put themselves into these little oppression boxes so they can get more things. They can get more roadblocks taken out of their path for them. It's like those parents that would, sign their kids up for extra time on the test and say, oh, they have ADD or this or that or the other. When in the reality, every time I met a kid like that who really didn't need those things, it ultimately hurt them in the long run because some of them would just get lazy and complicit and say, well, I just got the extra time, so I don't need to push myself. Others of them felt bad because they felt there was this identity being put upon them that they didn't want, that they didn't ask for. Me, personally, I'm glad nobody tried to put me in a box and say, well, you're this thing, so you should demand these privileges from that and ask for these roadblocks to be taken away from you. I'm glad because climbing over those roadblocks, getting past those setbacks, and pushing forwards day after day after day is what makes me the person that I am. And it's why I'm going to continue to work my ass off and earn things for myself and accomplish things for myself. Because that's what it's about. It's not about me sitting here whining going, oh, well, maybe the YouTube algorithm hates me because I'm a woman and a lot of the YouTubers in my niche are men and they're not being affected the same way. So obviously it hates me because I'm a woman. It hates me even more because, I don't present as like super girly because my hair's too short and some people think I look like a dude, so I'm disadvantaged and YouTube's discriminating against me and boo-hoo me. Let me go file a lawsuit and live comfortably on that for the rest of my life. That sounds kind of good, actually. No, I don't want to do that shit. I like working for what I have. I like earning what I have. I'll never forget this time. These people are stupid. Somebody, when I was in college, reached out to me on Facebook. Someone that I guess I went to high school with. I don't remember him. He was just like, are you the person who got bullied out of school and tried to kill herself? And I'm like, no, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. But some asshole, obviously, who's very miserable with his life, is like, let me reach out to somebody who I think was bullied in school and bully them some more because I have nothing and I'm pathetic. And then I was barbing back and forth with them and they're like, oh, you're a loser and this. I'm like, no, I work for everything I have and I'm very proud of that. And he shoots back with, I'll never have to work a day in my life because my parents just gave me all this money and I get to travel around and sit by the pool and do this and that and the other. And the contrast could not have been more stark in that moment. Here was somebody who fully admitted that they were given everything. And how were they spending their time? They were going on Facebook looking for people to bully people who they thought were depressed and potentially suicidal. Because let's go pick on somebody you think is down to make yourself feel better. That's what happens when you don't have roadblocks. You don't have a personality. You don't have a spine. No one's ever asked you to develop or become a real fucking human being. You do shit like that versus me, who could proudly say, I'm in college. I'm working multiple jobs to have a horse because it makes me happy to have those things. I work every day of my life and I've worked for every cent of what I have. That made me proud to say. That made me feel strong to say. When you take things away, when you sit there and say, well, I got this thing because, well, this women's initiative meant that there were all these spaces for women to do these things. And everyone propped me up and helped me along my way. Having help along the way is great. That's a wonderful thing. But it doesn't take the place of hard work. It doesn't take the place of sitting down and grinding forwards and becoming, actually achieving things and being strong yourself. So I don't like this idea of girl power anymore because girl power doesn't mean what it used to mean. Girl power used to mean I'm strong just as I am. I'm strong in all the ways that make me unique and special as a woman, as a person, as a human, for all my uniqueness, for all my personality traits, not these intangible things like my skin color or other things, not even my gender, but the things that make me me, and the fact that I'm a woman. That's girl power. That's who I am, right? I can do this. The fact that I'm female makes me different from a man in a lot of very specific ways. physiologically, the way our brains are wired, the way our body chemistry works, the way our hormones work, all these biological ways in which we are different from men. Not better, not worse, just different. And those differences make us who we are, and they help make me great. And that's not what girl power means anymore. Girl power means let's all get together and kick the men out. Let's all get together and create an enemy so we can feel justified in why we're being gate kept from these things. Right? Only weak people see the world as a series of gatekeepers. Strong people just kick down those gates. They don't wait for someone to give them the key. They don't wait for someone to unlock it for them. They don't sit there online day after day whining about how they're kept down and how they're so oppressed and, oh, the evil this person, the evil white man, the evil that person keeping me down and oppressing me. That's what girl power has become, but that's not what it's supposed to be. So I don't like that idea anymore, because you can't have girl power now without kicking a guy to the curb or someone else to the curb or putting someone else down. Girl power is not about being empowered. It's not about doing things for yourself or taking things for yourself. It's about taking things away from other people because you're not confident in your own ability to get it for yourself. That's what it is. It's breeding a bunch of pathetic, lazy weaklings who don't want to do the work to become strong, actualized, complete, whole people. People who just want to say, give me this, give me that, take down these barriers because I'm not strong enough to do it for myself and I'm somehow owed this for some ridiculous made-up reason. You're not owed anything. Go out in the world, take it for yourself, make it whatever the hell you want to be. And that's it. That's what I want to talk about today. So thank you guys for listening. Like I said, if you want to check me out, $1 on Patreon will get you Social Justice Wednesday and maybe another video, and $2 will get you What Are the Stupid People Up To, as well as a bunch of other content over on Patreon. Subscribe, start just one tier, $5 a month, gets you everything. So go ahead and check those out. The links are down below if you want to just give one off. I have a PayPal link down there as well. Everything's helpful. Check out my t-shirts. There's some amazing art on there. Some fan art designed by that Star Wars girl. So please go check those things out. Make sure you subscribe or press the like button. Follow me on Twitter at Jesse Milestone. On Instagram at Mindless Entertainment. God Empress out.